everyone, welcome to another episode of Joy of Puzzles. I have for you today a puzzle titled Great Art. It was published in 2019 by White Mountain Puzzles. White Mountain Puzzles has been around for a while. They were established in 1978 and they were originally a poster manufacturer. They are located in a rural community in New Hampshire, right near Mount Washington in the White Mountain Range. The original founders are lucky enough to kind of still be in the business. They've kept it in the family, so to speak, which is less and less common nowadays, and they've done so well that they've been recognized as one of the top family-owned businesses in New Hampshire. I mean, a couple years ago, they even got invited to the White House to, talk about how wonderful they are. So, kudos to them. The artist for this puzzle is Barbara Bear. Now, it was actually, I found her website, but it was very lacking as far as any details about her personal life or what drew her to art or where she went. Normally I can find all those little details. I was able to find that her first love was pottery, and that later in life she took to various forms of illustration. I did find a second website that kind of seems to be representing her, and they had more examples of her artwork. And on her website, she showed a lot of the commercial work she's done. She's done a lot for a company named Heidel, and they sell holiday-related. In this case, they had like holiday tins with chocolates and cookies and things of that nature. So she does have a whimsical holiday style that lends itself quite nicely to, of course, that sort of seasonal marketing stuff. This is a 1,000-piece website puzzle, and it took just under 5 hours to complete. I did this one on my own, so 5 hours is pretty quick. Strategy-wise, well, this reminded me a lot of the Disney's Villainous series that I did, where there are these individual smaller images scattered across here. So this one was pretty darn easy. I started with the border. Unlike the Villainous puzzles, this border had a little bit of unique carryover, like a trim that made it possible to build the border, whereas the Villainous ones are one shade, and we built that last. And then, you kind of look at the image and say, okay, well, what draws your eye? Well, the bright yellow was an easy thing to build. It came out right away, along with a couple other bright colors scattered throughout here. There was a Monet in the lower left-hand corner, and if you know anything about his style of painting, well, there's enough detail on the pieces that you picked up a piece and go, oh, this clearly goes to the Monet puzzle. There was a little patch of blue sky on the lower right-hand corner that was really easy to build. And then I focused on the yellows, the reds. There was some blues and whites that made themselves, they were really distinct. They really caught the eye when you were sifting through the pieces. So that made it pretty easy. The other thing about this puzzle is that when you got to the end, unlike the Disney Villainous puzzles, where there was a lot of space between the individual picture frames, the very plain gaps was a lot of hunt and peck at the end to get that filled in. In this case, the frames, one, are all unique, both in color and in design, and there's very little gap, so it didn't have that tedious grind at the end of it. And I use that sparingly because the puzzle was so quick. There really is no grind to something like this, but it's just to point out that even the pieces at the end that should have been time consuming really were not, just by the nature of the image. So pretty simple puzzle, which brings us right to the review. I'm going to rate this puzzle in 4 categories on a scale of 1 to 5. The first category is the puzzle material quality. This is the paperboard itself and how well the image is bonded to said paperboard. White Mountain is pretty darn consistent. I'm going to stick with my usual 3 for these guys. You can always count on them to make a puzzle where the material is in no way detracts from the build. You don't feel like you have to be delicate with the pieces. They're not flimsy. So nice solid 3. Exactly what I'm really looking for. The next category is the puzzle cut quality, and I'll add to that the cut design. Again, White Mountain, they are a very consistent manufacturer. This is a solid 3. The pieces fit together well. I never really ran into moments when I was unsure, even with the border. Maybe once or twice I had to go back and look at a piece and go, maybe that doesn't go here, but very few and far between. So the design of the pieces are such that they fit well, and the cut was crisp, and there were no little snags or felt like I was forcing pieces together. So 3, perfect, right where it should be. Difficulty, well, 5 hours all by myself. I'm gonna give this a 1. I did it in 2 sittings. The images that were chosen by Barbara to put into this puzzle are distinct enough that most of the time, pieces that are sitting in the box, I can tell you what image they went to. There was very little ambiguity in that respect. Only the couple dark pieces. There's the Last Supper in the center with the dark ceiling, and I'm gonna go with Vincent van Gogh's self-portrait. Yeah, it had a dark background, but even then there was so little of that you pretty much knew where those things went. So difficulty, I can only give this a 1. It's easy build, and frankly that's why I picked it up. I was in the mood for something quick and simple, and this one hit on all those marks. The 4th category, and by far the most subjective of all of them, is frameability. If I was the type of person that made a puzzle once, sealed it, saved it forever, would this be on the list? I'm going to give this a 3, despite it being comprised of some of the most notable, works of art in the world, or at least by artists of great renown. Just because the collage of them isn't as impressive to me, or it doesn't have the same impact as if I made a puzzle of any one of these single images. It's just not the same, and I don't see the theme other than they are great pieces of art. Like, again, I'm a layman when it comes to this stuff, but if there was some sort of overriding theme that I could discern from why these particular great artists and selection was made, maybe I would think more about framing something like this, but I can't. I don't see it. I don't understand. So, for a layman, I'm just going to give this a 3. I could see, there's an age group that, especially if you were in school and you were studying to be an artist, that this is a great little collection of works that might inspire you. But for me, nah, I'm not going to hang this on my house. But I can't deny that it's comprised of fantastic pieces of art. Alright, overall score. Not quite linear because difficulty and frameability have kind of a weighted impact on that. I'm going to give this a 3. I have no problem. I'll build this again. It's a quick, easy one. I'll loan this one out and know that whoever gets it will enjoy it because it is pretty straightforward. And at the same time, does have some great images in it. So, a 3. Alright, coming here to the end, you're going to see me put all the edge pieces in a little plastic baggie by themselves. That's just to save myself a little time next time. And then I'll put all the other pieces in a big Ziploc bag. That's just in case I drop the box. And, yep, don't want to lose any of them. I appreciate everyone out there that takes 10 minutes out of a day to watch one of these videos. Perhaps you can click the like button or maybe even hit the subscribe. And I look forward to bringing you more puzzle videos in the very near future. Thanks again, everyone, and until next time, bye.